Hey Tim, hey everyone else, and welcome back to For Running Shoes. Tim, thank you for your last video where you talk about your breakfast. I'll have to do that for myself at some point. But today, I want to talk about my road to recovery from COVID and the steps I'm going to take to get to my marathon. As I spoke about in my last video, I got COVID 3 weeks before when I was meant to run my first marathon. And due to the nature of COVID being not just a respiratory condition, but also a cardiovascular one, I was not willing to put my body at risk like that, my heart at risk, by running a marathon, my first marathon, so close to getting COVID. So I spent, this week doing very little. It really took me out for the week, and I'm feeling much better now. I'm pretty weary still. And working is harder work than it usually is. I'm getting lots of sleep and I'm looking after myself, eating well, those usual things. And each day I'm feeling better and better, so I'm not concerned about that. The symptoms otherwise have gone and life is back to normal, which is good. I have been really gutted that I can't run my marathon at the end of this month. And I think that when facing a setback like this, I think it's important to take some time to rest, to gather yourself, to think about what's happened and what you'd like to do in the future, to think about what's important to you. Then pick yourself back up, make a plan, and get to work, which is what we're going to do today. So in the SBR weekend, starting in Inverloch on the Bass Coast, my plan is to run the Bass Coast Marathon. I think that's its name. I'm not entirely sure. It's on the 19th of March, 2023, which gives me about 18 weeks from today, which is plenty of time. I was kind of hoping to run a marathon before then. There was one in February in Port Fairy. I just didn't feel like traveling to Port Fairy for my first one. Inverloch slightly closer to home, so I'll be doing that one instead. Now let's talk about the plan. So this week and next week, I am not going to run at all. It's going to be COVID recovery, I'm calling it. So this is where I am going to be moving my body by walking and also doing yoga, things to strengthen my legs. I think it's something that I've been meaning to actually implement into my practice, my running practice, is to do more strength and flexibility training. I just have not. So I'm hoping that I can prevent some injury by doing strength training and working on my flexibility. And I'm hoping that maybe 1 or 2 yoga sessions a week will be good for that. So that's the next couple of weeks. Then the week starting the 28th of November, so right at the end of November, start of December, I will be resuming my running. The first couple of weeks, I'm not going to run too far. I'm just going to see how my body goes. I'll take it fairly easy for a couple of weeks, maybe run 30 kilometers a week, maybe even less. I just want to enter well and set myself up for the next few months really successfully. Mid-December, so 4 or 5 weeks from now, I think I'm going to start reintroducing my long runs. And by long run, I just mean like longer than an hour. So not super long, not what I was running a few weeks ago. I am building back slowly and I've got lots of time before my marathon to get the distance in. So I'm going to be looking after my body, but reintroducing the long runs slowly. Another couple of weeks after that, so looking at the end of December now, I'm going to introduce a speed training each week. Something that I've been really keen to do is to just get quicker, and in preparing for this marathon and trying to be careful for my knees, because I've had some trouble with them this year due to overworking and going too hard with one of the races that I wasn't prepared to run fast. I need to get ready to run fast. So I'm going to be introducing speed training while I'm not running too far each week, especially for my long run. I want to get my intervals in and I want to do tempo training. So we're going to be starting to do that towards the end of December. Then January, this is just going to be a summer of running really. Then January and February, I'm going to be continuing that. I'm going to be increasing my long runs. I'm going to continue doing speed training. I will throw a couple of rest weeks in there because I don't want to get to the end of February and have injured myself. So I'm going to be adding a couple of rest weeks through there. Then at the end of February, start of March, I'll start my taper where I will continue running. I'll stop the long runs and my speed training will kind of cut off as well as I ready my legs for the marathon, which is on the 19th of March, 2023. It's about 18 weeks from today as I'm recording this, so I've got a lot of time, and I think that this plan is going to see me with some success as I return from COVID and I get ready to face my first marathon. So in a little under 18 weeks, I'm hoping to run my first marathon. I'm disappointed that it's not this year, but it'll be before I turn 27, which is the end of March next year, so that'll be good. And, you know, even if something goes wrong, it's 6 months before the Melbourne Marathon, and I'm hoping to run that anyway. So, you know, if I need to delay it again, you know, sometimes these things happen, but I'm feeling good about my plan. I'm feeling good about the timing. So I'll get my body right. I'll continue doing what I'm doing, and yeah, hopefully be able to run a reasonable time. I think I'll be able to run faster than the 4 hours I was targeting for this marathon. I think having this, you know, new training period, I think I'm going to be able to bring that time down, you know, closer to, you know, ideally I'd be able to run it in under 3.5 hours at some point in the next year. But if this is my first marathon, I can do that. That would be awesome. I have a lot of work to do before then though, so we'll just see how my body can handle it, and yeah, work hard towards this goal. Tim, I am looking forward to hearing about how you went in your last Casey Strides 10-kilometer event. I know the weather was warmer and more humid than you're expecting, so I'm keen to hear how you went in your next video on Thursday. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Make sure you check out Tim's video on Thursday, and make sure you subscribe to For Running Shoes if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much again for watching. Take care. I will see you next Tuesday.